It's hard to find bright spots when you get shut out, but Le'Veon Bell was again outstanding against the Patriots. Season high 70 yards, 4.7 yards a carry. On this play, he gets free for 19, which was also a season high.
Yeah, one of our thoughts going into this game was be able to run the ball well. We were able to run the ball a little bit. The problem was, we didn't keep the game close enough to really affect the game in the capacity we wanted to.
So you go multiple tight ends here.
Yeah, we had some of these bigger personnel. It gets them in base defense. Try to make sure we do a good job getting everybody covered up and just give him enough space to get to the second level. He does a good job here of seeing that hole and then accelerating through it, running through arm tackles. You can see here his balance is, it's unique. He's a hard guy to bring down.
And we always talk about his positivity. He's a guy who's always going for you.
Yeah, he's been a leader by example for sure. He just goes out there, he works hard every day, he does a great job making sure the rest of the guys kind of feel his energy, whether it be in practice or during a game. He does a good job of he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's just day in and day out been our most consistent guy.
And he just discards Lawrence Guy.
Yeah, this is
trying to get the arm tackle. He says, "No, I'm not going down."
290-pound guy trying to hold on to you, and he keeps his feet. Yeah, this was one of Alex Lewis here on the pull. He's a guy that's he's probably one of the other guys that has played really well for us. Every game he's been in there, he's done an outstanding job. He's done a good job in protection in the run game. He's very physical, smart player. See here, we're putting Ryan Griffin on the second level, and the way they play us is that they're playing basically, a dime linebacker in there. And then you got linebacker here, one out here. They're trying to really just play 3-4 defense against us.
Was Lewis known for his athleticism? Because you guys have used him successfully on the move.
Yeah, some of these guys just naturally know, they understand fits as pullers. They do a good job of, the contact that, like here. At worst, you always want a stalemate to create a hole. He usually gets a stalemate or he drives a guy out of the hole. This is really good. If you're a running back right here, you're pretty excited that you can definitely see where you should go.
Here's a play where you put Jonathan Harrison, who later filled in at center. He could play all over the line, but use him at fullback. He had a crushing block on this one.
Yeah, he has a really good feel for this spot, and he's done a really good job every time we've asked him to do this.
Again, that's Lewis on the pole.
Yeah, the thing that Jonathan does a great job of is when he hits a guy on contact, you're getting full speed, and it's really hard to take on some of these blocks. Lewis does a great job. They pry this thing open. Le'Veon does a great job of staying with the pullers, finding that little crease there.
And the hole doesn't look that big, but he squeezes himself in there, and this is a big man.
Yeah, for Le'Veon, he does really well in these gap schemes. He understands how the play's being developed, how it's supposed to really be built, and he finds that little crease and positive play for us.
We talked about it last week, what the passing game down the field could do for him, but maybe what can his yardage gains here against the Patriots help you moving forward?
Yeah, it just gets the linebackers, gets the underneath coverage to kind of suck up on any of the play action stuff, which helps us. We can get more intermediate throws and really, eventually just tack down the field.
So defensively, we talked about it in the open, 17 stops at the line or behind the line of scrimmage. Here's after a turnover early in the game. It's inside your red zone already, and there's your rookie, Quinton Williams, making a stop behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, this is a great job because what happens a lot of times on these block backs, you see these guys run up the field, they just push them out of the way and then create a seam right here. Quinton does a great job of using his hands, slipping inside, and really this center it's a really tough block for him when defenders do this. You don't see this a ton because, guys don't want to be wrong because you could, open up something like this. You see this hole right here. That could happen a lot of times from the gun. It's hard to. Usually you get about the front side A gap to outside, and him slipping inside. This is a smart play by him.
What can that do for his confidence when he makes a play like that?
Yeah, anytime that you make a big play in a situation like this, it just confirms all the things that you've been working on in practice, and you just keep building off of that.
Leonard Fournette's been the Jaguars' constant this year, been their most impressive player, second in the NFL in rushing, averaging 5 yards a pop.
Yeah, he's a tough guy to stop. I mean, you got a big man that's got really good speed. That's a very good runner. He's a really good gap scheme runner, as you can see here. You got multiple pullers. You got the guard. You know, this is kind of old school counter where you're running to the tight end side, hammering down here, pulling him around, pulling this guy as well. He's timing up. You're trying to create a hole here. And you can see here the wide receiver does a great job coming in and cracking, and now trying to tackle him. It's actually a pretty good tackle considering he's about ready to split him. Him leaving his feet probably hurts him here, but I mean, this guy gets a head of steam going. He's tough to bring down on the second level.
Last week against the Bengals, Fournette got off again, and like your runner, Le'Veon Bell, he has a tendency to find the holes and then he can bounce it.
Yeah, you can see here he does a good job. He presses the hole, and what that's doing is it's taking these double teams to the linebackers are really coming to these guys, so they're able to stay on the double teams, press these guys off. He's getting yardage before he even really makes a cut, and then once he goes and makes a cut, now you got all kinds of problems because once again you got a very large running back in the secondary
who looks more explosive than he ever has. Let's flip to the other side of the ball. It all starts up front with Gase Campbell.
Yeah, you see this from him quite a bit. You got to be careful because anytime you start running sideways on these guys and he feels it and he's able to contact you and he has the angle, he's going to end up back here. Whether he's playing defensive tackle or defensive end, he is a nightmare to try to deal with. He does a great job. He's a big man that just engulfs running backs. I mean, you can see him. He's tackling Derrick Henry here, and Derrick is like one of the biggest running backs in the NFL, and he brings him down like he's a little tiny guy. I mean, this is a guy that's very disruptive both in the run game and pass game.
Yeah, you just said it, disruptive in the pass game as well. Here he is getting to the quarterback.
You know, the one thing that's always been impressive about him is, you know, he's known around the league. He's a student of the game. He understands what everybody tries to do. He takes advantage of any kind of mismatch that he has. They do a good job of putting them where they need to put them to win that game. So it could be 60 snaps at end. It could be 35 snaps of D tackle. He's one of those guys that can do everything, and he's smart and he knows the whole defense.
Great job at the line, using his hands, just discarding that blocker.
Yeah, you got no chance. If you don't get your hands on him and you don't have your hands in the right spot, you can see here his hands are a little high. He's able to slap him away, and when a guy like this slaps your hands away, he does it with violence, and then he's able to burst through the hole. It's just tough to get away from him.